Hello, this is Idodmg and welcome back to the channel. In this Dragonkin the Banished video, I want to talk to you about a mistake that I made, just something I simply overlooked, and maybe it's common sense, but hopefully it'll help you out when you start your journey through Dragonkin the Banished. Again, the demo for the game will be releasing on February 20th, and it is a demo, but there's actually quite a bit there to check out. I think I've got about 10 hours or more into the demo so far, and I'm still playing and learning things as I go. The game will enter early access on March 6th, and I'm really looking forward to it. Let's go ahead and talk about Dragonkin the Banished. Went ahead and jumped to the gameplay here for you, and we're going to be talking about the Ancestral grid today, and specifically we're going to be talking about modifier hexes. So the way this grid works, this is basically your skill system in Dragonkin. So whenever you put a skill in here, for example, if we wanted to have Atomic Storm be one of our skills that we want to use, we'd place it in here. It's now in our skill bar, and it is usable. But what I really want to focus in here is the modifier. So you can see here I have electric damage as a modifier that's already attached to this skill. Now we can see that this modifier is in fact going to give us more electric damage, and you can see there's 2 lightning bolts in this modifier. And when this is applied, you can see there are different tiers of electric damage. So if we have 1 lightning bolt, we can do 2% more electric damage. If we have 3 lightning bolts, we can do 5% more damage, and so on. So what does this mean, and how does this actually work? Now, the mistake I made was I just went into here and I thought, okay, we got electric damage there. Here's another electric modifier. Okay, now it's going to be doing even more electric damage. And then let's keep going here and tack on, a little bit more lightning damage here. And what actually is happening here, so if you compare, right now we have 2,617 damage per second. Now, if I remove one of these modifiers, it stayed the same. What the heck? I'm not actually getting more electric damage with this modifier. That's correct, and that's the mistake that I hope I can teach you, and hopefully you can avoid and not make the same mistake I did. Because what's going to happen here is you could just be wasting grid slots here and actually getting no buff at all from it. So the way that this system works is you want to look at the modifier itself. So we already went over how many lightning bolts you need for each tier, and the way that you actually get more lightning bolts, it's simply what modifiers are touching your skill hexagon. Let's go ahead and jump back to our skill here, and this is Atomic Storm. Let's go ahead and just put Atomic Storm in there. So the trick here to figure out what's actually working is to mouse over the skill itself. You can see modifiers applied. We have enough to get the 1 lightning bolt to get 2% more electric damage. Now, if we go ahead and add on 2 more lightning bolts, 2 plus 2 is 4. So now you can see in here that reflects on the skill tooltip. We indeed have 4, and now we have 5% more electric damage. Now, this is where the issue is, and especially in the demo right now, is the next tier of damage is going to be at 15 lightning bolts. That is a lot, I feel like, from going from 1-3 to 15. Now, I don't know if it's just because it's the demo or what it is, but that's quite a big jump there to try to puzzle in 15 more lightning bolt power. Now let's go ahead and see if we can pull it off. All right, we did a little bit of puzzling here in the grid, and there's a couple other things that you should know about this as well, is you can only have 1 of the same skill on there. So for example, Lightning Beam, I have a 2 lightning bolt electric damage here, and then over here I have 2 more. So I thought I'd be able to get to that 15 mark, but we actually can't have 2 Lightning Beam skills on this grid. The game won't allow it. And I don't want you to be confused. I know we're talking about electric damage in this video, but lightning bolts actually apply for all modifiers, even physical. Well, lightning bolt is just kind of like the energy or whatever it is to get you to those next tiers. So it's not exclusive to electric damage in that sense. Well, let's go ahead and just show you what I pulled off here. There was this hexagon here, and if this one would have rolled a higher rarity, so you have different rarities, right? You have common, uncommon, and then your green is rare. The higher the rarity, the more lightning bolts are on those modifiers. So if this one would have even just rolled uncommon, we would have enough to be able to get to 15, I believe. But here's what we got to. We got to 13 lightning bolts. You can see it up there. We have the skill applies greater electric damage. 2 more lightning bolts, and we'd be able to get to that 10% increase. Again, I feel like the jump from 3 to 15 is quite a lot, but that's how the system works. Don't just go in there and so here's the mistake that I made in the point in the video here is all of these electric damage modifiers are not in fact increasing the damage of my Atomic Storm. at all outside of the 3 lightning bolt total. So if you had even just a rare electric damage, that would be enough to get that tier, and you could literally free up all of this grid space so that you could get even better mods, and so you're not just wasting all of your time and grid space. The Ancestral grid system is really fun and interesting, and I really like just sitting there and trying to kind of Tetris it all in and learning these little, whatever you want to call them, mechanics, I guess, just kind of learning that process and figuring out how to best puzzle in your skills to get the most damage possible. Make sure you're utilizing all the modifiers to their full capabilities. Just make sure you don't make the mistake I did and waste all that grid space with unnecessary modifiers. And that's going to wrap it up for this Dragonkin the Banished video. Hopefully you found this video useful and or entertaining. If so, don't forget that like button and subscribe to the channel if you think I've earned it. Please consider becoming a YouTube channel member today. The support means the absolute world to me and the family. You also unlock some pretty cool perks such as behind the scenes, bloopers, and early access to videos when I release a whole big batch. But don't forget, your view alone means the absolute world. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.